Welcome to the very sane and normal house of Harkonnen. Psych! This is inspired by this amazing eye art and that haughty fade Rotha, and we're bringing the most wretched of vibes into this function. The Harkonnens are brutal, therefore this look needs to eat down and rot. I did my base, prime my eyes, and now starting with a black gel liner on an angled brow brush to draw a slanted down liner. My right eye can be somewhat hooded, so if I fully open them, the liner disappears. So I do a little outer V to map, and I also open my eyes to see where I need to draw. Because if we draw with hooded eyes closed, once we open them, it's like money, gone in a second. We're using gel because it's the most matte, pigmented, and deepest shade of black you can get. The flat angled brush, I'm dragging lightly from the outer corner of my eye slightly downwards past the end of my horribly drawn on brow. Don't look at it, I forgot about her. And so will you. After that, line the entire bottom lash line and connect the upper and the lower outer corner. Inner corner, I'm using the tip of that angled brow brush to draw a little circle outline and filling that in. Pinch the bridge of your nose to get into those inner corners, smooth over the liner and balance out any missed areas. To make everything a little more sharp, I'm using a tiny brush and a flat rounded brush with a bit of the concealer to clean up the mess. You can use a white jumbo liner or a liquid shadow. Liquid for this part will make it the most pigmented and pop more, but I just chose a pencil for this look because I feared me adding too much liquid and making my eyes crust. Like, my skin has been very dry lately, but if you have liquid, use that. I'm marking the end and beginning where I want that top part to end and then drawing a curved line to connect. Roughly sketching, you have a lot of flexibility here because we are going to clean it up all later. Sorry for the blur, this is a new camera. I'm still figuring out the technicals, but the autofocus is so much better than my old camera. I'm thankful as heck that most of this footage isn't blurred. After sketching everything out, take that jumbo pencil and fill in the areas. I'm going to shade and map the full design now. We're still sketching and mapping, so again, flexibility for mistakes. We'll clean it all up afterwards. Taking a rounded shorter flat brush and moving that shadow around to cover any skin and sharpening up the design. Like always, I'll be going back and forth between sketching and adding and removing. Take your time, babes. With a concealer brush or a Q-tip, you can start to clean up. The sides should be curved in like a stretched C. Kind of looks like a hammer shark head. Taking a light gray shadow and another compact small angle brush, I'm filling in that tight corner here and dragging that inwards very lightly. Switching to a small blending brush, now blending from where I just drew into the white shadow. Like gradients, the corner I'm filling in will have the most pigment, and as we pull towards the middle, it'll lighten substantially, and we'll go back and forth between blending and adding. Each time we blend, we'll be creating a gradient, but we'll be also taking the pigment away. So we need to go back and forth, adding and blending. To get the most pigment, pack it in by tapping and pressing lightly. From the middle to the outside corner of my eye, I'm doing the same, adding that same gray shadow, then tapping that in, which is going to naturally blend, and taking the same blending brush to blend it out by tapping. Lining that C shape very lightly to create a border, then a blending brush and dragging that out, staying close to that C line. Now for adding pigment, I switched to a tiny tapered brush just to collect the shadow and pat it down in the very tight areas that we needed to go. Too harsh and it will give blotchy, and we only give cunt here, so let's not. As you can see here, I'm adding most of that pigment to the outer corner and just above that black liner we drew earlier. Again and again and again, back and forth between adding shadow and tap blending. If you see that the shadow is going a little beyond that border, guess what? It's very much okay because we're just going to clean it up. So the outer C, we're going to leave that top white liner detail white and alone. Blend according to that C shape. So you're following that C and you're blending in C's. C for cunt, Katrina. Then you should get a blend like this. Work in small ass increments and a very light hand. Light layering is the key to these type of blends and looks. It's very easy to spill over. Keep it tight and right and leave the inner C pretty blank. You should still see the white there. Okay, if you spilled over, just take concealer or a Q-tip to clean it up. Now taking a grayish brown shade and that tiny tapered brush, we are going on the other side of that border and shading. Again, just follow the C. The closer to the line, the darker it is. As it pulls out, the more light it is. Same with the other side. Isn't that shit glorious? One of my favorite applications for makeup is adding white as fuck highlight. So a domed blending brush, pack in that white shadow in that area we left alone to enhance this vicious eye look. This will just blend everything together, and if it carries over into the gaze, guess what? We clean it up again by adding more grays, which I'm gonna do. A lot of back and forth here. So because I used a shadow stick, the sides aren't as sharp as I wanted to look. So I took a white gel liner, just a tad, and focusing those lines at the end. Just sharpening that outer corner. I'm doing that with an angle brush and taking very little at a time so it doesn't get blotchy. When I'm heading towards the inner part of my eye, I'm almost flicking and lifting off from the skin. Just very light strokes. Adding some gray to the bottom liner, then to bring it all home, black liner in the waterline, bottom and top, whole entire eye. Fill it with darkness and only darkness. Like sociopathic, feel nothing but black in these eyes. And you can also go back with a gel liner to deepen again if it faded from the blending. I wanted more drama, so I'm adding thick as fuck lashes. I also wanted more brutalism. I feel like in the Harkonnen world, since they love pain so much, we gotta add piercings. So you can add whatever studs to your face. I'm adding 3 to the nose and double brow piercings. For lips, just simple. First priming with my favorite lip primer from MAC. Then using black liner to line. I'm using Huda's kohl liner so it's easier to blend. Taking that same blending brush I used to blend for the eyes, now using that on the lips and blending towards the middle. I added white but figured I didn't really like it. It'll be covered by the gloss anyway, so yeah, skip that if you want. I smudged it just a smidge because I wanted that worn away look, and yeah, here it is. Harkonnen slay. We are now a vicious, vibrant woman, a villain, a whole scoundrel. Thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.